Karan before Draper House? What was it like?
While I was in the startup ecosystem, I was that seeker of knowing what is that which will actually influence people.
So you've seen thousands of startup founders, right? So what is the difference between the founder who made it and the founder who just got burnt out?
You might have had the best of the idea, but your team was not right. What was the use of the good idea that you had?
Where do you see Indian startup going from like 3 to 5 years?
The technology will play its role. I think as a community, we are playing an even better role.
In every city, there's a place that becomes more than just a location. It becomes energy. And that place is Draper Startup House for Bengaluru. And at the center of it is Karan Bahadur. Not just a host, but a quiet force shaping India's startup story. He didn't start with a pitch deck. Started with a question. What if we created a home for founders? Not just a place to stay, but a place to grow. In this episode, we talk about the power of community, the mindset of true builders, and the raw, unfiltered truth of what it really takes to create something that matters. You are a founder, a dreamer, or someone searching for your tribe. This one is for you. Hello, Karan. Welcome to Highfive with Prekshya.
Hi, Prekshya. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Karan, let's start with, who was Karan before Draper House? What was it like for you?
So, if you ask who was Karan, probably Karan was a seeker. Seeker to create some impact. While I was in the startup ecosystem, I always felt there's this gap which people were not looking at. And I was in the grassroots where I was working with startups, being part of a community which was delivering through events, Pan-Asia summits, workshops. But the real core problem was never spoken about. So I was that seeker of knowing what is that impact that I could create, which will actually influence people in creating a vibrant community in the ecosystem here.
Okay, take me also back to the place where, what did you try before Draper House? Because I've heard that, you've got stories of organizing such big events and then you already had a company. How did it all come up to becoming Draper House?
Oh, that's a good question and also interesting because my roots, actually what I've become a Draper, has a solid base that started way back in my alma mater. Okay. That was at TIE Bangalore. So the Indus Entrepreneurs Bangalore chapter. I think we were the first team to have an office set up. 4 of us, me, Gayatri used to head the Bangalore chapter, Sashi, who was the associate director, and me running the programs and membership. So it was all new for Bangalore. And think about 2008, people even, coming and talking about idea and say they were so reluctant to say, oh, can I share my idea? Will that person really take away my idea? That was the mindset. And here, while you have trying to build a membership, trying to get people to know what we are trying to do. So this was a hunch and huddle, but we had to really break that mindset. So for me, it all started at TIE, where my exposure was more talking to founders on a daily to daily basis. One of the very interesting thing also was the Red Bus, Fanindra Sarma, was like any other person aspiring, trying to create something, impact, coming and attending those workshops. So it's very, very profound moments. I think for me, my impact or my thought about the startup ecosystem started at TIE. And from TIE, I think I was there for nearly 4.5 years. That was my stint at TIE Bangalore chapter. From my membership at 63, I took it up to 1,600. That was the biggest jump and the lead that we took. Also because of the kind of programs that we were delivering, very interesting activities. People never heard about these mixers, the term mixers, right?
Yeah.
We used to do that. Identifying watering holes where, founders really loosen up themselves, talk about their ideas, identifying creative, interesting spaces in and around Bangalore. We used to do our mixers there. So one is those places also gets a highlight and they get their footfalls. And for us to do our events, we wanted a very interesting and a very, vibrant, like an ambient. So we did that. TIE was something which I think I would really thank. And I think I would really thank my friend. She used to be my schoolmate and a very good friend of mine. She's the one who pulled me into this at TIE Bangalore chapter. And I got an opportunity. What I am today here, I think most of the credit goes there. And my previous partner, Sashi, used to work with me and he's been instrumental in few of the thought that we have kind of executed now. And post that, after 4.5 years stint at Thai Bangalore chapter, we wanted to actually disrupt the way conferencing is done. So at Thai, what is to happen, Prekshya, is just typically all the events is to be happening in the 5-star hotels where you're tied up or suits and boots, right? But the idea was everybody is to come and say, Karan, what? Actually, we don't get that, connect that happens typically in these huge events, though they are designated networking events, but it's always tight, right? In terms of, imagine today, Prekshya comes very well decked up, and I come in my suits. A lot of people kind of hesitate to even shake hands with you because that ice breaking takes time and you have limited time in those events. So we felt the festival was supposed to disrupt the way conferencing was done. Also, we wanted to create that whole festive and celebrate the entrepreneurship thought and the vibrancy of Bangalore through this festival.
When was that?
So the first festival was called Startup Festival, 2012. And we worked with the government of Karnataka. We worked with Thai. Thai was supporting us. And people like Stanford University, especially the education ones, supported us in this particular cause. Microsoft was supporting us in this thought because they love the idea of saying, how are you trying to disrupt this? So when you say startup, typically, it tilts towards technology. And for us, we felt, what about people like, musicians, artists, designers, foodpreneurs? Where are they getting a platform? Even they are building, their own empire. They are enabling entrepreneurs. I mean, so not, creating jobs, right, across. Where are they getting a platform? So we wanted them to be heard. So if I go back to 2012 Prekshya, you would have found this place to be, people coming in their half pants, flip flops, cool, lot of colorful, lot of activities happening around, having a drum jamming session, a rock band playing, regular workshops happening, speed dating with mentors and mentee, panel discussions. Then we had a flea market. We had designers coming and creating from scrap. They created some art installations.
Wow.
So, when you were there, the idea was you were doing everything else, but also your entrepreneurship, talks, discussions. Very interesting. We also did was this startup crawl. So Bangalore is known for the pub culture at that time. I mean, now it is the brew culture. It is, I think, has one of the most brewery in India. So what happens in pubs? You want to experience different pubs for different cuisines, food, breweries, the best of the brews. What we thought, we identified interesting startups. We opened up the doors for people to come to, the startup office. Look at how a startup looks. And these founders, their journey, how they went about it. And a founder talking about his journey. The interesting aspect, what happened there was a lot of people got their hires while they went to attend these events in the startup crawl. A lot of people also found their co-founders. Startup crawl was very interesting. So the startup crawl next year became Construct Startup Festival. So we did it for 3 years and we were trying to figure it out. And then after 3.5 years, we were trying some podcasts at that time. Okay. We were too early, 2014, think about it.
Okay.
Yes. We had people, founder Harsha on our podcast.
Okay.
Sashank from Practo, Ajit Karimpana from Falenco, Sharad Sharma from iSpirit. So these are kind of people who came on our pod, and Sashi used to do this podcast, used to trying to get interesting stories out to people. So the idea was to do a radio channel for entrepreneurs, where you could hear, instead of while you're going home and coming back from work to home, the idea was instead of music, you rather listen to these interesting trending news about startups, founders sharing their stories, talking about interesting activities that's happening around in Bangalore, right? So that was a platform that we wanted to create. And anyhow, the idea was to have a radio channel, and that we needed a studio. It was too expensive to have a radio studio for that. So we couldn't raise those funds for that. So we dropped that idea. So in 2015-16, we were kind of trying to understand the Bangalore topography of what is happening here, right? Why do people come to Bangalore? One is the diversity of things that happens here, kind of people who are here, a talent pool, the urge of doing something and impactful. All that was happening. And as soon as you come to Bangalore, first thing and foremost is you need a shelter.
Yeah.
So we were working on that model of saying there are backpacking concept in Europe and Western countries, right?
Yes.
Why is it strong and why is it so connected to people? One, they travel with very interesting people across the globe.
Yeah.
It's pocket friendly, and you're seeing through a local's eye, right? Means you're going meeting local, seeing people, the local, center of the cities or villages, wherever you go, you're actually seeing through a local person's eye. So that is strong, and you must have heard about backpacking for surfboarders, backpacking for musicians,
Yes.
backpacking for yoga. But nobody was talking about entrepreneurs. We have been there and we thought, let's check what is this interesting and why not do something in this particular space. So we did a survey. So we called up around 500 plus people,
Okay.
typically startups, founder, entrepreneurs or business travelers or students who are actually working for or interning in startups, asking them if at all we create a place for you to live like a backpacking space for entrepreneurs, what would you expect from this space? So the outcome was so out. Three questions came out loud.
Okay.
One was, what was the expectation? First they asked was the internet.
Okay.
We need good internet, right? Without that, we can't work.
Yeah.
Second, community. So this is more or less 80-85%. There's not much of a difference. And last thing they asked was a clean and neat and hygiene place, which the place could provide. So with that particular data, we were so confident that we should work on this particular idea of trying to create a backpacking space for entrepreneurs.
Nice.
So we started that in 2016 called Construct Startup Hostel. That's when the birth of this particular idea kind of conceptualized. And 2016, we started May 9th. And then we took it up to, we were trying to raise funds, but investors were not kind of convinced because it was a very capex, heavy business. It's a 25, 24, 365 days of business that happens. The doors never shut for this business. Like people are in and out, going across the globe. People travel and they live here. So the best is the house or the hostel at that time was just not with living. It was about meeting interesting entrepreneurs across the globe, coming and living there, living for long. We used to do some events. These were like typically my story sessions, do a small panel, get interesting trending startups to come and share their journey and share their stories. So we were collaborating with these kind of engagements. So the place became just not a place to live, more about giving them other, impacts through local people coming and, attending these events. So an opportunity to network with the local people. And of course, the knowledge shared through these events used to happen. So first year, we did the first property in Indiranagar. Second year, the response was very good and overwhelming.
Okay.
So we opened a second property. Again, from a small cute little house in Indiranagar, we went to a slightly bigger house in Koramangala. It was again, good response. We were doing good in both the properties. We were trying to raise funds again, but people are really not getting it.
Wow, again?
Yeah. So, but we were determined, we were sure that this is what people require, or we felt this is so important for a place that is Silicon Valley of India needs this, a community for entrepreneurs to live. Because we were figuring it out and we felt when people came together, magic happened. You met co-founders, you met interesting, you got some interesting gigs, people got some internship opportunities.
They also got mentors here.
See, and they got a backup, the community was there to back you up, even in your failures. Because you were inspired, somebody is doing something, they would say, hey, Prekshya, no, you are doing good, Highfive again, and then, pushing you to your limits. That it happens in a startup's journey. So all this kind of motivates, right? It inspires, it empowers, it motivates you. So we were still, persistent, saying we will try to work on this idea. What happened, interesting turn is, Vikram from Tribe Theory Singapore, he was trying to do something interesting.
Okay.
And they saw us on Instagram, construct startup hostel, a living space for entrepreneurs, backpackers who are traveling, people to build on this community concept. So he reached out to us. He wanted to acquire, but that they didn't acquire. Instead, we gave the name, but it was powered by, it was called Tribe Theory. That was his brand in Singapore. He was in Bali. They were trying to do something in Myanmar and Estonia and Singapore. There were 4 locations. And we were in India, just 2 locations. But they wanted to acquire. That didn't happen. Instead, we did a very interesting tie-up. We gave the brand to them, and it was powered by Construct. It was called Tribe Theory Startup Hostel, but powered by Construct. And that happened 2018-19. And very interestingly, Tim Draper's team was in Singapore.
Okay.
They saw this particular concept. They loved this concept, and they give it to go and talk to Tim about saying that this is a beautiful community for startups and entrepreneurs. Why should we not look at it, right? Not try to acquire this, because they are creating impact. It's a community led for entrepreneurs, and seems like an interesting space to be. I just want to go a year back before. In 2017, Sashi, my partner, the previous partner, he had attended the Heroes program in San Mateo at the Draper University. Out of the 70 best ideas, we were among the best 10.
Very nice.
But Tim never invested. But why I'm telling you this is because even before that happened, we had gone to the Silicon Valley of the world at the Draper University and spoken to Tim about this. Like, we get this opportunity to pitch in the university. There are like 70 people coming across the globe, and you're part of that cohort. What actually happened was, when they saw the Singapore property, Tribe Theory, and then they go and talk to Tim, they said, no, this idea has already been spoken, and I know somebody talking about this. So he still had good memories. They still recalls that Construct was something connected. And they told it's the same right now. And hence in 2020, January, we got acquired by Tim Draper. So Tribe Theory, Construct became Draper Startup House. And we dropped this title hostel because we were not a hostel. So we were a community place for entrepreneurs to live, get inspired, to get connected with other like-minded entrepreneurs, and take it to the next leap, right? So that happened. So in the meantime, we were trying to build this nice property for Tribe Theory and Construct at the time. And then when we got acquired, Tim was here, inaugurated this new property. So my journey, if you look at back from the Thai days, the Startup Festival days, and then we had this, interesting podcast journey, and that Startup House. So it's been very interesting, because being at that era when the startup was a buzz in Bangalore, we were in that momentum. We were creating impact. We were talking to people, organizing events, enabling entrepreneurs and startups and touching upon startups and entrepreneurs in different ways. Yes.
Tell us one wild or unforgettable moment that happened in Draper Startup House that you still remember. It can be any funny or any shocking or something of a proud moment, whatever it is. Which is your favorite?
I got many, actually. But mostly very intense, mostly collaborative. And people, they just come to explore, and then they found that they're working for a big corporate and they ended up becoming entrepreneurs. That's very interesting, right? Because this, kida lagaya, being with other entrepreneurs. There's something that came out from there within which they never thought, and which I'm proud, because we built that community, and that could happen in our space. That you were inspired by other people, and they saw the inner within me that had different story to say, and corporate was not their cup of tea, but they pursued becoming entrepreneurs. They found their entrepreneurs in our house and built a team. And think about, like our discussion going like 20 people sitting, starting off at 9 o'clock after dinner and going early morning till 3-4 and talking about this, topic. And somebody actually built something out of it and built a startup.
Beautiful. So were you always interested in startup, or what was in your head when you graduated from college?
So I graduated in psychology, but never pursued anything with entrepreneurship. I was far away. Nobody in my far gene and DNA has a whiff of entrepreneurship. This all happened with the flow of people that I was among. See, that was influence, right? So people, and of course, Bangalore being that, the diversity of things that was happening in Bangalore,
That time, yeah.
it was very infectious. You would want to be, I used to remember kids coming just out of the college and, just to flaunt their card to say, you know what, I'm a co-founder of this particular startup.
Oh,
It was a cool feel, right, to say, but it comes with responsibility. I forget, did they pursue it or not? But the feeling of holding that co-founder title or a founder title was a pride moment, right? You kind of spread your chest and walk with that pride, right? That was something which I didn't feel as an entrepreneur. But for me, I think it was never the designation or the title. It was more about content, being satisfied, and hearing out people. And with my experience, if I could add some value to uplift that particular idea or support that idea or say, you know what, your guys are doing good. You need certain things to be done. Can we work towards it, or can I help? And I've done that in the past, or I've been doing that. Those moments you can't quantify, but how did that happen? Because of this community, right? That we have built. The people just don't come with expectation. They just come and immerse themselves. And they come with that mindset of no expectation, but what comes, I'll just pick that up.
Yeah.
Is the best way to approach even life, I would say. Right? Don't expect with that expectation that, oh, I come here and my startup will get fund. I come here and get my co-founder. Or I come here and I get my talent, I get my resource. A lot of people just come here because I'm in a good ambience, a good environment that I can actually turn that idea to a business. This place facilitates that. You can work anytime, 24 hours. You wake up at 3 o'clock, the Eureka moment, or the Brahma Murta for spiritual beings, right? You sit there, work on your ideas. Nobody's to stop you. What do you need? A good internet and good set of people who can inspire you. So the community kind of, had this beautiful aura around it. The ethos of the place actually were the people, not me. I built the walls, but the soul was actually those people.
Okay.
Who actually came and got that energy out and helped other founders or other fellow minds to convert that into an idea, into a business.
Beautiful.
So that was profound for me. And in fact, in some cases, they found their life partners and they're running their own businesses. That's even more beautiful, right? That means when you ask me for interesting, this also has happened.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of people, they're getting their gigs, internship, a lot of freelancers come and they've got their works. A lot of people have found their co-founders and business opportunities. The roommates have become their business, they got their business through them.
Beautiful.
So this is by itself, that's exactly what I was trying to say. The ethos of the place itself kind of enabled a lot of things to happen. It grew very organically. And people just spoke about it. We never even market most of the time. It's what we do. We just want to show it across. Prekshya, last year we did 220 events. Can you believe it?
Wow, really?
And most of our events, 80% plus events are free. We don't even charge.
That's beautiful.
Right?
I mean, wow. You're just
And these are, yes. And
free.
Mostly our places fill. Also, it's not big, so it's good, but we can still accommodate around 100 plus people in a very tight setup. This actually, kind of gives you a good feeling of saying, just not the space, but through these events, workshops, panel discussions, hackathons, demo days, you are actually enabling a lot of people to get a nice, for them it is like weekend at the Draper Startup House, we can go. There's something or the other happening on the weekends. And they can just walk in, meet people, get connected, learn, get some knowledge share, build their network. The whole idea was about that impact, which was a gap here. And we kind of fulfilled here into this particular space. The analogy also I'll tell you, when we did our festival and then this particular concept of living happened. In the festival, what happens? The 4-5 days is high energy, right? You met so many people, so much of you're absorbing so much of knowledge. You're getting connected. That will only last for a week, 2, 3, a month, probably, or 2 months max. And then it fades away, right?
Yeah.
what happens in our community, you're always seeing people in and out 365 days, right? Interesting people. That means people from different backgrounds, from different parts of the world come into this place. Then we are doing events. So this is everlasting. It never ends. This festival only gave you impact for 4 days, but this is giving you 365 days of impact. It never ends.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of it, right? If you really have to think, nobody thinks like that, right? But when we thought about it, this is an amazing community and this is an amazing concept, which will surely, add value for people who are aspiring entrepreneurs or already existing entrepreneurs to utilize or optimize this particular community platform.
And not most of the graduate who are just passing out of the college know about these kind of places, whether it is Draper Startup House or any other incubators. How do you think we can bring more awareness? Like, should it be in our education system for them to understand that there are people out there who is ready to help you? Or should it be more of word to, mouth to mouth? Like, how can we bring more awareness about it?
So what has happened also, we have been working with universities, colleges, and I've been going and talking, in colleges to talk about from the community and the startup mindset. I usually talk. We are doing that from our, point of view. But now, how technology is, people, you don't need to teach them.
Yeah.
At least we were handicapped. I was handicapped. Nowadays, people have this, 6-inch device which can give you everything of the world that needs. You have to be craving if you want something, and if you want to use it for the right purpose or the wrong purpose, it's there with you. And that way we are kind of visible. You're right, it's still difficult. A lot of people still find it. When they hear this, they say, we also want this kind of a community in our city. The first thing is, we don't have it in our city. Can we have it in our city? See, we opened Hyderabad a year and a half back. Kathmandu just got launched. For me, the aspiration is at least have 7-8 properties in India. Say Goa, Kochi, Chennai.
Kerala?
Yeah. We said Kochi, right?
Yeah.
Pune, Mumbai, Delhi, Odisha. So having communities across this, so people really literally don't have to come to Bangalore for that. True. So they know in their city on a weekend, they know there's something happening for startups. There's a community that we can go talk, discuss, know what's happening, what's trending. And at least if I have an idea, can I pitch and get it validated? There's a place.
Yes.
So people do come and talk. And for me, the vision for Draper Startup House is, can we have these impactful places across India where this magic can happen, where people can be touched in various ways? If you look at the vision part of it, if Draper, what it completes, I think we would certainly want to have a, like a Draper Accelerator Lab, a VC desk, which is not there right now, where, you get funded, other place. So if you look at the life cycle of Draper, we are a living space, a working space, an event space. We do a lot of hackathons through demo days. We do a lot of things. And there's one bit which we are focusing right now is the program, the knowledge bit. So we did recently, that is Draper's Founders Residence Program, which is going to be in Hyderabad from 20th to 31st of July. And the idea is that can we impart this knowledge, learning, but in a very fun way, very immersive way, and just knowledge and not knowledge and gyan. But it's going to be a very design thinking concept, hands-on, getting those people coming and sharing these stories or failures and how to inspire other founders was one thought which we kind of want to cover through the knowledge part of it. We did something interesting called the Community Collective to actually build champions, to build community managers who can actually run their respective companies. So the importance of community has become very, very active nowadays. They feel you need a community person in any organization. It could be a startup, it could be a company, it could be a corporate. Because these are the people who actually anchor and get this whole, they are the melting point. So everybody comes to them, do something. They're engaging through some events and activities. Hear people out. There's a platform to voice their opinion. That becomes, and the community role has become too strong. So while we were doing this Prekshya research, we found out nobody was doing on community. And because we have experienced community and how we want to do it, we felt, why don't we do a program a 7 days residential program for any individual who want to aspire to become a community person, gets a platform to learn. So when they come to our events, most of the people say, what, it's so interesting. Who is doing these things? Who is the community person? The community person moderates events. They're engaging in a lot of activities. A lot of people want to become that.
Yeah.
But there's no curriculum or there's no college or school that teaches this.
Yes.
So we thought, like, why don't we experiment, and we started doing this 7 days community collective program. We just concluded a second cohort, and in August we are going to do the cohort third.
Oh.
And it's interesting. People love the whole experience. It is about people, doing their own Insta reels, going to a museum and creating that story out of that visit there, selling a mug out in the road or anybody, teaching them skills or giving them an opportunity to moderate an event. These are all practical, right? And as a community, you need to be exposed to these kind of touch points. So while what happens in the event, you have to moderate, you have to be, being a audience and talk on, like imagine you moderate, right? You have to be speaking on behalf of your
Audiences, yes.
How do you do that? There's a way to do it. How do you prepare? What are the questions that you need to do? Or you have to do research before you do, speak to the speaker, right? So that particular program is another interesting program. That is the kind of focus that we are trying to go towards for the knowledge part of it. And the last bit, which is missing for the whole life cycle of Draper Startup House, is the funding part. If you can build a fund and invest in these interesting ideas or startups who live with us, there are a lot of opportunities we had where we did interact with startups, and there was an amazing opportunity for investment, which we couldn't. Though we have done small tickets, but not on a regular as a program or as a company's ethos and values, we never invested.
Okay.
Though Draper Associate, the Draper Fisher Juventus invests, Draper Ventures invests. So from the parent company, but they're very few in cases of early stage investment. So we want to touch that point because most of the people who stay at Draper Startup House are very early stage.
Yeah.
They come with the idea and turn that idea into business, or they are usually a 2-year-old or 1-year-old startup. So at that stage, we thought, why don't we actually, if we can raise a fund, why don't we invest into it? So if we do that, we are a complete cycle as a startup house, that we are doing everything, right? So that's the aspiration, that's the, go-to for me to look forward to complete this life cycle.
Tell me this interesting story about how did Draper Startup House of Hyderabad happen?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, this actually is very, very, I would want everybody from their cities to come with this mindset. So for Hyderabad, the one who runs his name is Sai Chaitanya. He used to, he's based out of Seattle and Hyderabad. He has a real tech startup also. He stayed here for 2 days in our space. He was awed with the whole community, people, ready to help you, to hear you, talk about what you're trying to do, that curiosity. It was so infectious for him that he wanted this to happen in Hyderabad. Just 2 days stay at Draper Startup House Bangalore shifted his mind and said, I would want to do this for my city. So we spoke about what is the engagement that we could have to have a Hyderabad setup. So I spoke to him for length, and he told, okay, he's prepared. He told, I would certainly want to do this and I just need your help. I told, I'm there to help and this is my job. I would certainly love to do this for Hyderabad also, because that's an emerging city after Bangalore and after Gurgaon.
Yeah.
Because Hyderabad is kind of picking up, the infrastructure is good, the government is really supportive, and a lot of companies are kind of shifting to Hyderabad as well. So within a week's time, Prekshya, he goes, figures out the property, he says, Karan, I'm booking a flight, come to Hyderabad, I want you to see this property, can we freeze this? Because I love it, I want your consent. This happened. So within a couple of weeks, we froze the Hyderabad property.
Wow, that was very...
And that is, if you compare to any property, it is the biggest Draper Startup House across the globe.
That's beautiful.
It's a 25,000 square feet of property. So we got it in a shell. We took a year's time to build every nook, corner, experience, a terrace where the events happen, the event space, a working space, a podcast space. So everything was there. And we have also a nice canteen.
Yeah.
Right? So all that happened. So Hyderabad was very interesting for me. And there are a lot of interest across India that it comes to me. I mean, I've been talking about it, but I'm looking at that one particular, because this is driven by passion. You can't have, this is not a technology, right?
Yeah.
Your building community comes by passion, and you need to give more than your money. You need to really put your heart out,
Yes.
because you're talking to humans who are trying to build something. So money is not constrained at the early stage. It is the vigor, grit, and resilience that makes an entrepreneur at that stage. So you need to support. A community has to build with that mindset. So I need that. If I find somebody in any city or any part of India, they're most welcome to talk to me. I'll be more than happy to help them to pursue that dream for their city.
Which state do you think that you really want that Draper House to be there?
I think 6-7 states.
Okay.
We are already talking for Kochi,
Very nice.
Goa, Odisha,
Mm-hmm.
Pune, Delhi. I mean, Delhi, Mumbai, people are there. Mumbai, certainly because of the real estate, I think people are worried because, like I said, we are a capex heavy business, but we do make profits, we do make money, but not as much as a technology company would do. But this is typically done with a community mindset. But there are other ways to we are also evolving and learning of seeing how we can actually be profitable, and we are going through that whole experience and journey. And if we crack it, we certainly want others to replicate in their own cities. Yes, the idea is that we want to crack that particular formula.
What's the contribution of Trim Drapers in Draper Startup House apart from the name? Like, how is he supporting you guys?
And sometimes, see, it's like for us also, it's like startup, right?
Yeah.
A person who's thinking has to have. There's no formula here. Every city has its own ethos, right? It plays different. Bangalore is very vibrant because the English speaking community is high, a lot of talent.
Yeah.
It's very welcoming, it's warm. You will not find the same across, but you need to be adaptive. Like Hyderabad wouldn't compare, but then there are own strengths there. So similarly, if Chennai, Kochi, Mumbai, Gurgaon, or any other city will have their own flavor, you have to blend it. So similarly how Tim, the name itself is sufficient for us to drive our own, idea and passion. Tim has been very supportive. He's one crazy man with crazy energy, which I fail to match. I think a lot of people fail to match. He lives and breathes startup. And the thing that he has done for the startup ecosystem, he's called the father of the Silicon Valley. And that's a big title to have, right? Bill Draper, his father, Tim himself, and his son, Adam Draper, who has a Boost VC venture firm, they're totally dedicated into looking at hearing ideas and investing into them. We just need that, motivation when we meet him or when he comes here for his Meet the Draper season. There's a radio show which does like Shark Tank, but they're older than the Shark Tank. They've been doing from 2012 onwards.
Okay.
Tim travels across the globe, finds interesting startups and invests into startups.
Sure.
So there is no drama, there is no scripting, right? It's just pure idea to Tim's family.
Yes.
And Tim family invests into startup. So in fact, last year, Prekshya, Odisha startup got funded. It was a drone company called Bon Viero.
Okay.
So instead of the prize money, Meet the Draper typically is a 1 million prize money they get, the winner gets. So they raised around 1.6 million.
Wow. Okay.
So that was crazy for us. It was so fulfilling because it happened for India. It happened at the Draper Startup House.
Yeah.
And Tim can be very unpredictable, but he's a moonshot person. He's a moonshot guy. He loves technology. He loves ideas which people really fail to get it, but he has the gut feel. In fact, one of the best interesting stories, he invested in Tesla even before Elon Musk invested, when it was not doing profit.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's interesting, right? Means his gut feel. Then Tesla, SpaceX. And these are the startups which is all, didn't generate revenue immediately, but on a long run. So, but Tim, his being around him itself gives you amazing aura and energy. So I think we just need that to soak.
Yeah.
And rest is, we can create it from that idea to business, that typically how we can make it happen. So Tim has been that blessing for us.
Very nice. So you've seen thousands of startup founders, right? So what is difference between the founder who made it and the founder who just went out?
So the one who made it, I think he believed in this very, that grit and determination that he's going to make it. See, sometimes it is not that idea. Sometimes it's also the market fit at that time, or is the market ready? It's all that lot of factors determine a founder's success story. So somebody who believes in the idea and then holds on to it. And they say in the startup world, typically 3 to 4 years is certainly required for any idea to kind of get matured and people to start recognizing it.
Sure.
A lot of startups fail there. The second year, third year, they kind of, we're not able to make that money. We're not able to get our own salaries. We're going to give it up. That belief in their own idea. So they either did it for the market, how the market behaved. So there was not purpose for it. If they had purpose, they would have still held on to that idea and made it big. And most often people fail there. So the failure ones typically are in a hurry or just got carried away with this whole startup buzzword across and hearing this startup everywhere. And they just, you feel like doing something. Oh, there's an opportunity. Why can't we do? But that also is nice. But they at least vetted their own idea and felt more than failure, at least they tried. A lot of people, I think that is resilience of that particular entrepreneur sometimes. See, even I always say it is just not the idea. It is the team sometimes.
True.
You might have had the best of the idea, but your team was not right. What was the use of the good idea that you had? Vice versa. So it's very important, but I always say team first. For me, it's team first always. I might be having the best of the day. Even in case of ours, this is such a capex and operation heavy business. It all boils down to people, my community person, my property executives, my housekeeping, because they're giving the experience. If this place is not kept well and neat and clean, why would somebody come to me? That means my idea was good. But if the execution and the team was not able to fulfill that, my passion and my vision for the idea, it would have been pure failure. Right? So it's so important to have this balance. And for an entrepreneur, I think that grit and determination is very, very important, and to hold on for some time. A lot of people have just left it at the last moment. It does probably just another year and they would have become an IP also. You don't know, and they lost it. So it's just about holding on some time.
One success story of Draper Startup House, any startup, one success story that you remember?
We have a couple. One, of course, was Celigion.
Okay.
They used to make these mini computers.
Oh, wow.
So they started in 2016 in my early days when it was construct. And today they are a good company, which is kind of raising left, right, and center investments. They're good. They started with 2 smoking buddies in our car park. They were talking and they became co-founders and they built a company.
Wow.
Right? And another one is also called Mador Building. Okay. It's a to Z for building materials. Today, somebody wants to build a house, the pain, right?
Yeah.
The third party, the middlemen, and the way you get goods. So now through this particular platform, you're able to book and ease of getting your goods at your construction site. So Mador Building, it's called MOB. I think that's a very interesting story. It all happened. It's a very good friend of mine, Kumar, who used to be also in the hostel business, and he ended up running this, and they're also a success. They're doing good. In fact, the team sits in our place and works.
Oh, nice.
The Mador Building team sits here. He likes the energy. He also feels that the team gets motivated. They also get exposed to other, interesting people, that they get kind of, excited at work. Mador Building is one. And like that, I think there are many which have come and gone through the journey. They've used this platform. But the best is, I can't really quantify one-on-one. People have found, they in fact exceeded the company. They found their co-founders. They've got gigs. They've got customers. They found, they got their inspiration from this space. So that also has happened. But I think to mention that these 2 particular story immediately to say, there are many more like that. But these 2 startups stand out for me. a success, you would say.
You can clearly say that DSS is not just a place, it's a whole startup energy that is there, right?
Absolutely. Yes, it is. It is energy.
Yeah.
Like I say, it is the ethos that the place has got, the people that they are like grounded, humble, ready to help, ready to hear, ready to collaborate. I think this is very interesting. I think this is what gives me a good night's sleep when I go back home. That either I met like 3 or 4 startups, had a good conversation with them, or helped somebody, and it's very fulfilling for me. And I like being there to support, help, but also hear sometimes. You need, founders and especially startups at the early stage, right?
Yeah.
They need that here, somebody to hear you out and give you that kind of a third party perspective. And this could be the best, right? Because you have founders, if somebody's trying to do something,
Yeah.
and somebody's experienced sitting there and hearing you out. Otherwise, it's so difficult to go randomly say, can you hear my idea? Can you tell me how it is? It's not possible, right?
Yes.
But this culture itself is like that. They expect it's purely taken for granted that I come here, I can meet so many interesting people. That's the best part of it. And that's a very fulfilling experience to build this beautiful community.
You can just network people even in the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, you must have done it, I suppose, because you were there. Did you have a conversation there? Yes, it does happen. It does. Lifts. The first question they ask is, who are you? This is not the question. What are you doing is the question, right? I think the culture is so inbuilt that the place itself speaks the language that you don't need to expect anything.
Yeah.
You're just in the flow.
Everybody is so friendly, and then the first question that we hear is, "Hi, I'm this. What are you building?"
Yes, right?
And that's interesting. People are ready to hear your idea. Like, what are you exactly doing?
True.
That's something that comes out. So that's a very amazing experience that I had in Lift as well as in the kitchen. What's the biggest thing that this journey has taught you?
I think to be grounded and being humble.
Beautiful.
Because I think without these two, I don't think so. This idea and concept as a community wouldn't work. Why humble? Because a lot of people come with expectation. If you have not given that ear to be humble and hearing them out, you would have I think a lot of startups would have just gone away. I mean, if I had told no, sometimes you need to be humble.
Humble and very compassionate.
Yes, and grounded also, because a lot of people only come with expectation in this space. But though I say don't come with expectation, you'll pick up more than you expect.
Yeah.
But still, for me, this is very, very, beautiful. As a personality, as a person also, it has given me a lot of grounding, I would say. It has taught me that, because varied ideas, crazy ideas, some people just want to do it, or some people are so determined that they're so passionate about it. You only have to be humble and grounded to hear them out. If that doesn't happen, I don't think so. A lot of people, I think this place wouldn't have that energy. And somebody has to do that. And luckily, I like doing this, and hence
you're available for us.
Yeah, so I'm mostly there talking to people and startups. Anybody, it could be just a kid who's out in after this 12th standard, but he wants to do. But very interesting things I've recently observed also is parents nowadays are very, very open to kick those kids out of the house after 12th.
I know, right? Yes, that's something we should talk about. Yes,
and these kids are so, I don't know, smart, well learned, done their research, and their parents say 1 year, figure out a place where you can spend time, be amongst the right people who can inspire you, talk to those founders, go to events, attend them. And I'm hearing this is very surprising. I think I like the fact that the baby boomers are open to this, to the Gen Zs and millennials.
Very smart.
Yes.
When it comes to technology, they're taking it a little bit faster, they're more aware of all of these things.
So that's a very interesting trend that I'm seeing. And I'm also learning through this whole, the fast pace of life that's going. I'm able to actually say I come from the late 70s, not late, I think early 70s. And I'm able to talk to these people. I mean, I'm just becoming them. A Gen Z, or I could become a millennial, or I could be a Gen A. I don't know. I'm just kind of blending myself to them. The best part is, yes, I'm one among them. And it's teaching me a lot of things. Sometimes it's so difficult to keep up, and I go back and start doing my research. What are they talking? Right? But it also kind of pushes me out of my own comfort. And that's the best part. So it's getting me to go do my homework and be prepared to talk to these guys.
Next time.
Yeah. So I'm at least able to lend my ears to say, okay, I'm hearing, but now I'm able to have a discussion, right? Otherwise, if I was that my generation person, I think I would have, hung my boots and say, okay, retirement. But now I feel that I want to work till my legs and hands give me the strength to walk and run.
Wow.
And with these young people, I think that is, giving me that excitement. And this place is creating this amazing, intersection of these minds. The old school thought, the young generation coming and, talking about it. So it's a lot of mix-ups, but a good level of mix-ups.
Yeah.
So this intersection is a beautiful intersection for me. And I'm able to actually learn every day when I go home back. There's something to, pick up or probably
share,
update myself or do some research bit of it or share. I think everything is happening for me at this place.
Beautiful. What's that one daily habit that you follow that helps you remain calm or intentional or focused?
So I am actually a very strongly towards my spiritual inner self.
Mm-hmm.
The practice that I typically, in fact, I share this also, is introspection. Every day, at the end of the day, you go and introspect what happened for the day. And the next day, you prepare for the day, the intention that you have for the day, and prepare it accordingly. So with this practice, I think I've also learned it from somebody who has taught me and has really impacted me, is when you introspect and talk about the journey when you woke up and thank the universe that you're alive, because a lot of people don't wake up, I suppose, right? And you are one of the privileged ones who have opened the eyes and able to breathe, smell, hear, and see the world so beautifully, right? And from then to you sleep, it's always good to have that 15 minutes of introspection of what went by the day. Who did you meet? Who did you speak? What did you learn? But if you were really offensive or offended somebody, pardon, ask for a pardon, right?
Yeah.
And then see what all went right and wrong. And if you can, and if some things didn't happen which you had planned for the day, if you can plan it for the next day, right? That's the introspection that I follow every day. That's my ritual. The next day is of the intentions for the day. How am I planning my day? So when I wake up and plan for the day, the things which were kind of passed on from yesterday, what is that needs to be done, and create that flow for the day. So mostly with this practice, it's all in my head. Or journaling also is a very beautiful way, I think. Writing down things, yes. Right? They say when you write, you think. And think about it. How many people write? Nobody writes, right? So people have stopped thinking.
True.
And I always emphasize people to think. And the best way is to write.
True.
Right? And I do this. And I like to write. That way I don't forget writing. Sometimes you start thinking my spelling mistakes or writing certain alphabet, right? And this is something which I practice every day. Introspection and the intentions for the day.
I think
that keeps me very, very controlled on my thought and my being humble and grounded.
Yeah. And to use your time more productively as well.
Yes.
Because I believe if we talk this to, someone who's in her college or not everybody, but some of them, so systematic, like, guys are going by one by one by one.
Yes.
It's like timetable. Why are you guys following that? It's not just a timetable. It also helps us understand where we actually utilize our time for a better.
Absolutely.
So it's a must. So what does global impact mean to you? Not just as a profession of whatever you're doing, but also as a human being.
I think I would see that if you can leave something as is, then creating a mess out of it. Add value to it. Or if you can leave things as is, if you feel it's better, or put a value to it. And by that, I think if this approach or this attitude, if every individual as a human being imbibes into themselves, I think it's going to be a beautiful world. Right? That obviously means whatever is happening nowadays, right? Wars, the nuclear affairs that people are, or the defense.
Yes.
And bombing in for what? Power, right? So if that was not there, and if we had left the way it was given to us from my forefathers.
Yes.
It would have been a beautiful world, I feel.
Sure.
So I think there's a saying also, right? If you can't keep a place neat, please don't dirty it.
Yeah.
I think that problem kind of ends it there. From the global impact per se, when you ask this question, I feel if everybody imbibes this mindset, I think we'll all be beautiful. It will be a beautiful, borderless kind of exchange of things that will happen for us, for ourselves. And for the future generation, they will see a beautiful world.
True.
And that will globally impact.
That's true. And can you tell me a little bit about where do you see Indian startup going from like 3 to 5 years? Like what are the changes that can happen, and what do you think it's awaiting for all of us as a startup founders?
In fact, Tim has clearly kind of given kind of indication. The next 2 decades is India's decade in terms of economy. We already third, and in fact now recent news yesterday was they're saying we're going to be 2 sooner. That means globally as an economy, we're going to be just after the United States of America. And what does it mean for us? That means the revenue, the companies that is going to be generated here, the amount of work that is going to be generated for people. We are the most populous country at 1.4 plus billion. That means India is going to be across the globe in terms of talent, skills. And some of the countries are also opening up their doors to say, can you populate our own backyards? Because we only are old people, there's no young here. Can you come and actually propagate? I heard, I don't know if you know, there's one village in Switzerland which kind of opened up this, right? We are open to Indians to come here for 10 years of visa, work here. We're going to take care of insurance, take care of your children's education. You'll get a good fat paycheck. But these are the qualifications, whatever qualification, right? So we are open to that. So what does it mean? So India is actually the country that to be looked out. And like we are growing economically stronger, and from the startup per se, we are among the best 5 and 10. We're going to be soon in that list of 5 startups in the world, and we've crossed more above the 5th best 5 startup destination in the world. See, after the Silicon Valley of US, in Bangalore they say the Silicon Valley of India. There is a lot of things happening, and people should watch out. People should look at India as the destination to start anything. It could be any, because one, we are skilled. We are a young generation. So there's a lot of potential of resources that you can find in India. And startups are actually using this as an opportunity. Except if AI, they say that it's going to take away a lot of jobs. But even to function that AI, you need people, I feel. And to also do certain other skill set, I don't think so it can replace. AI only can do technical or probably from where your soft touch points are, not from the physical point. And to also say, I would say technology is basically getting people away from people. It's happening already, right? Look at homes. You're not talking, people are discussing, oh, is the dinner ready? You're asking your mom, you're asking your wife, and children are asking, Dada, tomorrow, you have to do your parents teachers meeting. Are you available? We're all doing it on the phone. How bad that could be, but in fact, technology has got people together in different ways. But from the social being perspective, it is actually getting people away from people. And in our community spaces, we are trying to build so that people come and meet, mingle, and get connected. And I feel our spaces will be the sought out spaces in the future, because one day technology will be so fed up, Prekshya, that you'll say, I don't, and there are apps already to say, can I get away these apps? Or I don't want to be, my screen time should be stopped. You're trying to put an effort to stop your spend time on your mobiles, right? And what does it indicate? That means people like our places becomes more physical interactions. These events are going to happen in our place. People will seek these kind of melting points for people to come and engage. And that people will start looking out for. I think we are actually in the right path of building communities. So technology will play its role. I think as a community, we are playing an even better role.
What's the vision for the TSH next 3 to 5 years?
We want to, enable startups across not only India, because I'm the founder India, but we can create this cross connections between other Draper startup houses across the world. There should be startups who could just travel there or exchange ideas. There could be a potential of investments across these global Draper startup houses. We can build this kind of an engagement and build this community even stronger. And that's my vision, that I feel every country should have a community place like ours at the Draper Startup House. We need one space. And that actually ripples down to a lot of impacts, I feel. And our vision is that if we could have one startup houses, Draper Startup Houses across the globe, that'll be so fulfilling. Yes.
Like whole community.
Yes, it's community, yes.
Okay, one last question. If Karan was not the founder of TSS, if he was not doing all of these things, what do you see Karan doing?
Very interesting. So I'm more like a outdoor person. I would love the mountains. I love to drive long distances, bike long distances. I think I'm a wanderer in that way. I just explore people. They say, that's a good, beautiful saying. A well-traveled man is a well-learned man. I think I would rather choose that, but with people. I think I would be part of those communities where I can share my stories, learn, travel around the globe on my bikes.
Basically, you would be a travel influencer.
Probably, I don't know. Not in.
There also.
Yeah, talking to people and probably hearing them out. Yes.
And I can also ask, if you were to build Draper Startup House in 2025, what would you do?
No, I will not do differently. I would probably build from the back. This particular building community is not one day, 2 day affair. We have taken, we started in 2016, and a lot of people have imitated this particular idea, and they shut this shop just in 6 months. Because there's resilience, right? Patience. Every day you hear some issues because it's a hospitality ultimately, right? You are giving service, people are here, people have some problems or the other, and their expectations are very high as a brand, but they're not hardly paying anything, right? No, but that's expectation. But you'll have to fight this out. You'll have to talk about this out. People fail. They say, they think as a community, they only, when you see our reels, it looks so exciting, vibrant, fun, everything. But the real fact is you have a good team standing there and fighting this odd. And that they can't handle. Most of the people who did that were never from the hospitality. They don't understand the hedge of hospitality. They were all tech guys. They understood, there's an interesting community. You just have to do event and forget it. But you have to prepare for an event. You have to do some research. You have to talk, get a topic. You have to build some momentum. You have to get attendance, right? If that doesn't happen, imagine you do event, get 5-10 people every time. You're demotivated. But I was never demotivated. I always knew that this is going to happen. But you have to build that. And to build that from 2016 to now, I don't want to do anything to do now. It's difficult. If it's 2025, probably by 2030, I would have completed something like this. Technology has never helped me. It is people. I think we were more people. So hence, and think about it now, Prekshya. Most of my business have not come from technology. It's mostly word of mouth. And the people have experienced it. Yeah, that has given me those trust levels, confidence to say, yes, you're doing good. People come and say, what, Karan, I stayed here 4 years back. I loved it. And I get the same vibe. It's so warm. It's nice. It doesn't feel like a hostel. And of course, we have changed the name. We've removed the name hostel, but it's a house. So that means you are feeling at home. And to build that, it comes with lot of determination, lot of resilience, lot of grit. It doesn't come easy. And it takes time. People have to have that patience. It's not a formula. And you have to always learn and learn. This is an ongoing thing. But we know our structure because I come from a hospitality industry. So when I graduated in 94, my first job was in the hotel industry. I know where that is, what is required. A few things that people expect. I think we can't compromise. They always say, no, in the hotel industry or the hospitality industry, customer is the king, right? yes, customer is the king, but we somewhere have to cut that king in certain ways, because people take that leverage. People kind of stamp on us, and they feel that they can do it. And the European community of self-doing is still not imbibed into our culture. Imagine you stay in a place like this or a hostel. A lot of is do it yourself. You use a kitchen, wash and clip. A lot of people don't do it. They just leave your mugs, plates. But we have made it ensure that they do it all. There's nobody to work for you, but please use your cup, mug, wash it and keep it back, because it's a community. You have to give it back. You have to learn from others. Somebody else is also expecting that. Expectation is there. So it's all revolving on one person doing other job. So it is interconnected. So that culture is still, but we have started early. So if you had asked me that question 225, I would say by 2030 I would be ready. It would have been difficult for me. And think about this culture and this generation. It's even more difficult. But who knows? It might change. I might be wrong. But I don't want to leave it back now. I wouldn't try to do something now. Or probably too different. I don't know if technology was a tool for actually changing the mindset of people. I have no idea.
But you really building in like true connection, people
Yes.
came, people experience, people. You were there to mentor them, you were there to listen to them.
Yes.
The team was there. So this
Yes.
is how they felt like it's just a home, where
Yes.
I can meet like-minded people, where we can work, where we can have food together.
Yes.
So it's definitely like just people like, I don't see where the technology came in.
Yes, exactly. So for me, technology has never been added probably on your social media. That's to say what we are doing. Otherwise, it's never given me that quantification saying, oh, these are the metrics that would have made me take a leap from 0 to 10 faster. No, there's all basically human connection. And I think communities always build mostly not in technology, it's humans. It's people who make the place what it is. The warmth is given by the people. So technology is the last thing I would use.
Okay, so all the entrepreneurs who are dreaming big and want to take first step, but they're not able to. Something's holding them back, probably the fear of failure, or not sure if they should start this. What is that one tip or something that you want to share with them that they start believing in themselves and their ideas and then take that first step?
So I would say start somewhere. Start small. So, and things doesn't happen overnight. It requires resilience and time. And like they say, momentum is magic. Yeah, it happens. So you have to wait. You can't expect things to happen by itself. So you have to wait. So somebody is trying to dream and say, I want to turn this amazing idea which I have to a reality, or trying to turn that into a business. Please don't expect that this will happen overnight. Impossible. And even sometimes even the longer journeys even will teach you further and more. It only will test your patience. But hang around. If you're really sure about your purpose-driven idea, hang around. Nothing happens overnight. But you start. If you're a dreamer and you want to do if you're a doer, start somewhere. Only when the momentum picks up is the magic that's created. So you have to hang around there.
You all know what you have to do. Just start, build that momentum.
Yes.
So shall we move to our rapid fire questions?
Sure.
One founder you'd bet your last rupee on.
Wow. I think there are many, but I think one of the things I think I surely, because I know Fanindra Sama from Red Bus. I've seen from very close proximity where like I mentioned in the discussion before that we had, very humble and very grounded person. But what he did for the, the tour, the bus operators, he cracked it. And now you know how easy at your own comfort of your homes you can book your tickets. And he is even now when I ask him sometimes, I will use this. Okay, I wanted Funny to be talking in one of the event, and he, beautifully he said, I think, Karan, there are many better people who have, can be there on the podium. I think you're using me too much. People are using me too much. That's being humble. But I said, people are still inspired by you. Means people can't get away from what you did in Red Bus, right? He's an amazing. I really like what he said. It still impacts me. Also makes me feel that if everybody was that grounded and humble to say, he's not even crediting him, but it still says there are more or much better people who could use that podium to share that story. I told, but you're still inspiring. But very nice way of, very, very diplomatically, he said this, but I got the message.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. And it's true also, right? It's not a story. It is, I've asked him to come and speak. And this is what he said. He said, Karan, I've been there too much. I think somebody else can use this opportunity to talk.
Co-working chaos or coffee cup?
I think I would like both because both have different, but to your rapid question, I would still like the co-working chaos because that's what I'm building. I think in that whole chaos, there is some calmness.
Well, I thought you'll say that.
So, yeah. Okay. No, that's nice.
Your wildest Draper House moment that still makes you laugh and can make us all laugh.
I shouldn't say this, but it's happened. This is like, a bunch of young people living here. And one of those party nights, one fellow was so lost that he went to another room thinking it's a toilet.
My God, okay.
So it is funny, but at the same time, it makes me feel, what the hell how can you think like that?
Yeah.
But he goes to the next room thinking it's a toilet and he's peed there. And think about the plight of the person who's living in that room. So it is funny, but these are the moments. There are many more moments, but this is the highlight for me. I felt so angry, but then I couldn't do anything. But the next day was so, yeah, I mean, he was not in that state, but in the morning we literally have to show him the camera that this is what you did. And he was so, what do you say? No words, embarrassed, nothing. He had no words. This is the life at Draper Startup House. One of those instances.
Let him come, right? Whenever he comes.
No, he was not in his senses. But so either way, our place is a no smoking, no drinking space. But if he has a party outside in his come, I can't stop that. But yeah, we did allow him. So he was a nice guy. He was a nice guest. It was one of those moments that you had no control over.
Tim Draper's vision or Naval Ravikant's wisdom?
Of course, Tim Draper's vision, of course. Yeah, of course. It can't beat him. Anybody who has been to the Draper University for the Heroes program, people know what a man he is. I'll have to say this. There in my cohort, there were around 101 founders across the globe from 37 countries. So the first day when he comes and meets, the way he wants to meet people, we went on a walk in San Mateo, walked 8 kilometers, and he has heard every founder. That means everybody got 2 minutes. So we were in like a train bogie. Everybody was talking to Tim and he was telling, hey, my name is Karan, I'm doing blah, blah, blah. 2 minutes and you go back. So he spoke to everybody while he's walking. So we were crossing the railway tracks. We went to a creek. We went to parks. We went to the neighborhood. We went to the market. We went into the bustling streets of San Mateo, where the university is. He walked 8 kilometers and talking and listening to each and every founder. I mean, who can think of these kind of ideas and then, do it? And everybody is like following that, and so beautiful. I was like kicked off. I was like, really hats off to this man.
One micro habit that completely changed your mindset.
So whenever I used to do something wrong, I used to ask myself, what you're doing is right or wrong? And immediately I used to get answer. So I've found this a habit of doing it every now and then. So every bad habit got eliminated by asking this question to myself. And even today I do this. I do this. So whenever there's a situation and I feel that that's not right, and ask myself that question. And that habit has actually transformed me. So I end up doing less wrongs.
Good. It's always good to ask yourself.
Yes. And I get answers immediately. So
a book that you give people so often that they should start paying commission to you.
There are like many, Ikagai is there, the Atomic Habits are there. And there's one book of Naval Ravikant's, right? I think these are the books I think you can't actually, you'd want to share this amongst, everybody should have this. Atomic Habits is something which I think will characterize a person, right? It creates certain structure to your own chaos that you're in, of not following certain things in certain way. This certainly aligns on structures and gets you into a right habits. It's only practice, right? So this is how that beautifully, that book kind of dictates or communicates to people to say certain habits are created just not by doing once or twice. It has to be done again and again and again and again. It never ends. So it happens in any circumstances. I think that is one book which for me also has kind of impacted, and I love that book. Wish I could give this book to everybody. I mean, I do have it in our library at Draper Startup House, but I would want to give it to anybody. And one book which I want to give it to.
What exactly are you? An introvert in disguise or a full startup extrovert?
Outright extrovert.
Okay.
See, my job always has been, I would say I'm a people's person, right?
Yeah.
From my hospitality days. Think about it. If I don't wish somebody say, "Hey, good morning, Prekshya," would you ever look at me? Means I'm already stopping my, a good interaction with you, or my discussion with you, or my dialogue with you, or a conversation with you. I'm a total extrovert. From there, any job that you talk about, it was Holiday Inn, Le Méridien, Times of India. I was in the retail, working in luxury retail sales, right? If I don't open, and if I'm not open to, get that energy out to say I'm welcoming, to you, and very warm person, I wouldn't have sold those expensive luxury watches in Dubai when I was working. I wouldn't have been so, I wouldn't have sold. So I was a total outright extrovert. There's no introvert in me.
Okay.
I think that's helped me in my business even today.
If it was not Draper Startup House, why would Karan be?
I would have been, like I said, a wanderer traveling on my bikes and driving across the world. I think I would love. I would have been interacting, talking to people. I would love to sit and listen to people on the ghats of Banaras, talking to the BHU students. I mean, I have had amazing, like I would say, certainly in Eureka moments, a lot of learning, meeting people there, and with a lot of clarity. I mean, a lot of clarity also I kind of got when I started talking to people. So I would be that person, a wanderer, probably I think a good wanderer, but meeting people, amongst people. I have to be within people, among people, with people. I think I'm that person.
One last question. What is it what you think people totally get to talk about you when they first meet you?
One, I think my identity itself. They would feel, should I talk to this person or not? No, I don't know. I don't know if I look that serious. But once they talk, they're like, I don't know. I don't know if I have that, not having that fake smile all the time. But that's what I feel.
But amazing person he is. I love talking to him. Just so jolly, But when I first met him, I saw it, God, he's so serious. Go talk to him.
Probably I should shave off my beard and probably make it younger.
No, but you're like amazing human being. I never thought it'd be so people person, laughing, talking to everyone, being there for people. Amazing man, yes. Love that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I had amazing time talking to you, and people, our audiences will have amazing time watching this video because this is about startup. This is about your dreams, and he's available for all of you who have dreams, who wants to start your startup. He's in Bangalore. I can put down in the description link his LinkedIn, and the Draper Startup House address. You just come anytime, meet him. He's available Monday to Saturday.
Monday to Friday.
Yeah, Monday to Friday, and he's just sitting there welcoming people. So, you're always welcome to Draper Startup House. It's your house.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prekshya. I think it is a great conversation with you. And your questions were really valid and I enjoyed answering them.
Thank you so much, Karan.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Thank you.
Karan Bahadur isn't just building a space. He's building a movement. Draper Startup House is more than a hostel. It's a heartbeat for India's startup tribe. a place where ideas are born and courage is tested, and community becomes capital. You are a dreamer, builder, or just someone waiting for a sign? Maybe this conversation was it. Follow Karan on LinkedIn at Karan Bahadur. Check out Draper Startup House Bangalore. If this sparks something in you, share it with someone else who needs a startup fuel today. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep building, and stay fearless. This is your host, Prekshya, signing out.